Okay, welcome to SpeedyEFI episode 1. These shows have come about because I recently purchased a NA6 plug and play kit from SpeedyEFI and couldn't find any guides online about what to do with it and how to install it. I'm definitely no mechanic, but I sort of pieced together some videos showing all the steps it took to get it up and running as a non-turbo before going turbo, with the aim as you can all correct my mistakes. So firstly, let's have a look at the kit. Okay, so you get your SpeedyEFI NA6 kit. It comes in a lovely little box, well packaged, so well packaged I can't get it back into the box how it got delivered, but that's not a problem. Let's have a look at what we get inside. Firstly is the Arduino SpeedyEFI kit. So it's based on the Arduino board EFI system, and it's all pre-wired up and set up for a NA6. I believe it comes with the NA6 base map, but I haven't looked into that at this point. We'll find that out later together. All preset, ready to go. You see it's the serial. We've got a USB type A connector on there, and don't worry, because he provides the type A to type B cable, which is great. These used to come with all the printers, but they don't seem to anymore, so you may not have one of these lying around. So handy, really good of them to provide that cable with the kit. We also get a MAF AFM delete plug. Now this is really useful, saves you having to do any strange wiring under the engine, under the bonnet in the engine. So we'll be using this later. Nice that it comes with a kit. Got a mat pipe, okay, vacuum tube, 8 foot, hopefully it's plenty for what we need. A GM IAT or intake air temperature. Ignore that nut, doesn't come with it. Provided like so. I'll show you where I'm going to install it on my setup, but obviously these things change as you read different views on the internet. Ignore that plug, that's something we may or may not need, but it fits this. We got a throttle position sensor, adapter and plug, and you'll see why we got this is this BMW variable throttle position sensor on a 3D printed mount. Sorry, I guess we're gonna have to install that. Seems well made, well printed. That should hold up nicely. Once you've got everything, keep it clean and separated until we actually need it. And of course, the SpeedyEFI window sticker. We'll work out where we're going to put that after we've worried about everything else in the package. There are some warning, they come pre-packaged in, about removing the SD SIG fuse, and some information that we need for the Tuner Studio setup. Okay, SpeedyEFI does use Tuner Studio, same as the Megasquirt systems. Obviously it's not quite as capable as a Megasquirt 3, but at a current price of $375 for this complete kit, this would be enough to get you up and running on an aftermarket EFI. There is something I want to add, which is I'm going to also go for a wideband at the same time. Wideband O2 sensors that allows us some more tuning sensitivity, but we'll go into that once I ordered one. So far we're at the first 2 steps I'm willing to take. The long-term goal is to go turbo, but in the meantime, all this work I want it to happen and leave the car in a running state as I progress, as long as I can, until I have to do the big install of swapping the ECU over. So the first thing I'm going to set up is a MAF delete, and I'm going to do that as a dry run. So basically take out the current MAF. I understand you don't, for installing the IAT. A lot of people say you don't have to remove all this, you can just kind of install it alongside, but I don't know how long I'm going to be running without turbo, so I'd like to have a slightly cleaner setup and maybe allow a little bit more tuning than just sticking the IAT into the current MAF and airbox. Then I'm going to go for a wideband O2 install. So this could be a wideband sensor. I'm going to install it a little bit lower than the current narrowband. I'm going to do a clamp-on kit. I've seen them, never tried them, so I thought we could have a go with that. Do a little video about it, and then install a gauge. So pretty much it's just waiting. All the wires it'll be running, but it'll waiting to actually be plugged into the unit. After that, we'll probably work our way down to the actual EFI install itself. That includes the things like the variable throttle position sensor and plugging in the IAT. So firstly, let's have a look at deleting the MAF. Again, we're just going to take items out, do a test fit to make sure we've got all the things we want, and install those. These are very close to stock NA6 Miata, US spec. Not a lot's changed here from what you've probably got on your own. I have removed the cruise control unit. That's pretty much just to give me a bit more space, and I don't use it as a rule, so no big loss there. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out the MAF, and we're going to try doing a test fit of what I want that'll be kind of the medium term. So delete the MAF, put in a cone filter and some tubing and a little air box, as I do have intake turn signal replacement units on the front. So you're going to need 10 and 12 mil spanner. First thing I'm going to do is loosen up these Jubilee clips. This little 10 mil, slacken that off, and there's another one just over the back. And that's just for this tube snorkel. Just slackening those off, and they'll pop right off once it's loose enough. Try not to drop your light, and loosen off the rest of the snorkel bolts. Still stand with 10 mil. That's the snorkel disconnected. Then the MAF, or the airbox itself, is held on by 12 mil span, 12 mil nuts.
One bolt. One nut. Captive washer. And another bolt. These are all pretty loose. And there's only reason just to have this out.
We want to remove the MAF sensor. Be careful with this. There are two screws in there that look really tempting to help undo it. They're not required. Leave them alone. There is just a little giant C-clip that we're going to loosen up here. So just got to slide this back. Should just latch back once you get it far enough. Try a little bit of They are really easy to move. They're just in a difficult position, especially if you keep, there we go. Pretty much should just unclip like that. We're going to hang it out of the way. We won't be seeing you for a little while. That should lift up, and because we've loosened up this Jubilee clip over here, we can just be able to remove the airbox and the airflow unit should just pop right out. We want a setup that's going to give it a little bit more performance, maybe. Certainly look a bit cooler under the hood. So we're going to try and set up a kind of standard aftermarket kind of style intake. That's going to continue to use kind of the existing area, and then surround that by a little airbox. So hopefully we can kind of trap some cold air in there. So to start with, this was somebody else's discarded cone filter, cleaned out, and it'll be freshly oiled before it goes in. Then a few little adapters, various angles. Now we do need to go, this is a 2.5 inch to 3 inch adapter. This gets us from the stock system to the 3 inch pipes, and then just a connector. Chosen Spectre, your mileage will vary. Again, this is just for the where it's going to be running normally aspirated. So we saw the space that's available. I'm going to set this up. So we've got a 90 degree and a what looks like a 45 degree angle. And there are Jubilee clips that go over this, but this is just the test fit. Some of these angles are easier to fit than others. Okay, let's see how we fit. Our system. I'm going to tuck that pretty far down there. Okay, so it's pretty loose. So we're going to have to set up a bracket to kind of help support that. We've taken away a bit of the length of the run, but now we want to try and put an airbox around that. For the cold airbox, we just want to find something like cardboard, or in this case some plastic sheeting, and we just want to do an approximate shape of the airbox and keep all the parts that you cut out. So you see I've done an initial cut on the side there, and I can put some tape on here so I can kind of extend out what I want my template to look like. We can just pop this under here. And position it how we want it to look on the final model. And if you can't find you've got any gaps that are larger than expected, you can just kind of cut out some bits of the already cut out components, and you can just stick it back in there until you get the shape that you're after. We've chosen three. I've chosen 3 bolt points, one at the top, one down in the corner, and there's a bolt hole just down behind the headlight motor. It's going to be bolted to. So we'll have kind of three points to hold it down. And I'm also going to set up a little bracket that will hold this in place here. This will give us our at least something to try and trap the air. On top of that, we also want to be able to measure the intake temperature. So this material, although not perfect, it's not going to be under any boosted pressure, so it's pretty much going to be atmospheric. So we can actually tap this plastic and install a position for our intake air temperature. So this looks good. We'll take this away and then we pop down to Home Depot. Okay, once you're back from Home Depot, you bought yourself a sheet of metal. Ideally, one a little bit larger than the piece you're going to use, that you want to cut from. But in my case, that didn't work out very well. So we're going to be missing a couple of inches off the end. Draw around your template. Remember to mark up what's meant to be folded and what's not. And then we can bend that into place to force our will upon it. As if by magic, we have our cold air box. Okay, this was just aluminium. You can use steel if you want something a bit more rigid, and we're almost complete on this. So what I will do is I'll get some vacuum tubing and we'll use that to outline all the sharp areas. It'll give a better bulk to the body and just make it safer to work around. Here's a dry test fit. So just making sure everything still looks like it should. Got a small bracket here. This will be used attached to a Jubilee clip, and it'll just be there to make sure that nothing can go too far wrong. Apart from that, everything seems to fit good. So all we've got left to do is set up somewhere for the intake sensor, and for that I'm going to mark a point pretty right on that, right on the bend. Then we're going to drill and tap that. So first thing I did was make sure that actually this would work. So this was a 6-inch straight pipe that I bought mistakenly, thinking I'd need it. And with a drill and tap, I'll show you size in a second. Just tapped into it there. And that'll hold nicely. Again, there is no pressure going to be on this, so we're not too worried about it being forced out under boost or anything like that. Hopefully one day that'll be a problem we have to deal with. So what do we use for this? So this is a 3/8 CSMPT tap and drill. Okay, and it comes with the correct size drill for doing the hole prior to tapping. Now these MPT taps, and if you can see it, go out in size as you go along. So instead of going straight in with this guy, I'm actually going to put a little guide hole in. Okay, there's our guide hole. Now we use the provided drill. And make sure it's all lined up right. And we try again. That should be enough material there to take the tap. I guess we've got the tap. But let's do this properly. Okay, so this is a very similar process to what we're going to have to do when we're drilling and tapping the oil pan. Hopefully that goes a lot better than this just did. You get some grease, all purpose. You get some sexy gloves. What's the opposite of a snake shedding its skin. Okay, so when we're doing this, meant to be doing this on metal, we basically fill up this with grease, and what it's meant to do is help catch all the spurs that get made as we cut our way through. Okay. Now, I watched Greg Peterson do this, and he told me lots of informative stuff on that video. You probably, if you're watching this, you probably know who Greg Peterson is, of the Car Passion channel. Fantastic, learned so much. But I can't remember much of that now. So you notice this, we're not going to attach a drill to this one, we're going to do it by hand. So this, in this instance, is a 14mm open box spanner. Okay, so we rest that in there. We get rid of this so I don't drop anything in it. And make sure it's straight as we need it. And I do a quarter turn and a half turn back. Actually, I'm going to go a little bit further than that for the first cut. So now I've done 3/4 turn, half turn back. From now on, I'm going to go a half turn, quarter turn back.
Half turn, quarter turn back. Half turn, quarter turn back. Half turn, quarter turn back. You can feel it turning to plastic.
We get our air intake and we find out if we've gone far enough or not yet. Don't think we have, so we go back in. And we got it just right there. And you can feel it, because we've used this MPT, you can actually feel it tightening up. And let's take a look. See that? All looks good. So I'm going to unscrew that for now, because I don't want this sensor getting damaged during all this work. Put that back in its bag. Okay, there's the system installed. It's there. All pretty tight. After all that hard work, I'm going to remove all that now and put it back to original so it's drivable again. And remember, the goal here is to slowly progress over a couple of weekends or a few evenings up to being able to install the EFI without too much hassle. If you have any questions or any parts that I've purchased, they're all pretty much whatever's available at the local store or off Amazon. Feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, fingers crossed, see you here again soon for the wideband sensor install, which will be next. Thank you.